Hey guys, it's Turner from Tread Athletics. I'll be doing an in-depth review on some of the most well-known and publicly available pitch tracking technologies. This will be your one-stop shop on deciding on which piece of tech is perfect for you to invest in. Before we get started, I just wanted to shout out our catcher Reese for catching over 300 pitches. If you want to follow him, you can follow him here. We had 6 of our coaches throw bullpens of fastballs and breaking balls on the following units to compare their data reading capabilities. We used Trackman portable unit, Rapsodo pitching 2.0, Pitch Logic ball, Diamond Kinetics ball, and for velocity, Stalker Pro 2 Plus and Pocket Radar Smart Coach. Before diving into our findings, I think it's extremely important to understand how each piece of technology reads and produces data for each pitcher. The Trackman portable unit, which costs $18,995, tracks full ball flight using what their website calls optically enhanced radar tracking. The unit primarily uses Doppler radar tracking along with some optical integration. The Doppler radar is responsible for measuring velocity, movement, spin rate, release height, release side, extension, approach angles, zone location, and inferred spin tilt from the movement. The optical integration is responsible for its calibration of the unit before bullpens and a recently added feature of 3D spin, which provides measurements of spin efficiency, active spin, gyro angle, and measured spin tilt. Rapsodo 2.0, the solo unit will cost $3,000 and a unit plus 1-year subscription to their cloud will cost $4,500. Rapsodo uses camera-based tracking to capture velocity, spin rate, measured spin tilt, and spin efficiency. So it will calculate the pitch movement based on its spin tilt and efficiency as it moves towards the plate. This means that the unit does not actually measure full ball flight and can't capture movement from pitches with seam effects. Rapsodo has most recently released their 3.0 unit, which we have not yet tested. Pitch Logic ball does not charge up front for the ball itself, but instead charges for a monthly, yearly, or 24-month plan. Within this subscription, you have the ability to replace your Pitch Logic ball after 3 months of use. Pitch Logic uses an IMU or an inertial movement unit to capture ball flight metrics. In general, inertial movement units use accelerometers and gyroscopes. In this instance, with Pitch Logic, an IMU is used to attempt to capture the same metrics as Trackman and Rapsodo provide: velocity, spin rate, movement, and release metrics. According to a blog on their website, this technology measures the force applied to the ball rather than Doppler radar or camera tracking. A replacement ball after 6 months almost seems necessary, especially for customers who plan on using this device frequently. The DK ball costs $99.99 and allows customers to opt into an additional fee as a premium subscriber. The subscription is almost necessary, as if you're not a subscriber, you only get pitch velocity and spin rate as far as metrics go. If you have the subscription, the ball provides velocity, spin rate, movement, tilt, efficiency, extension, and a couple other metrics. From what we were able to find, it reads pretty similar to that of the Pitch Logic using an internal IMU. For velocity, we use the Stalker Pro 2 Plus. This specific model cost $1725. They have additional models available on their website, and the velo boards seen in most of our videos are a separate cost from the radar. The Stalker Pro uses radar to measure the velocity of the ball out of the hand. That means if you see a guy pulling down 5 feet from the net, don't comment on our videos. Pocket Radar Ball Coach is $300, and the unit that we use was a Smart Coach, which is $400. The difference between these two is that the Ball Coach will only record velo, while the Smart Coach records velo and video with their app. The Pocket Radar also uses radar to read velocity out of the hand. The only difference is Pocket Radar seems to have issues reading from different angles. It's best if you use the Pocket Radar directly in front of the pitch or behind the pitch. Back to our in-house study. We had 6 coaches throw about 3 to 5 fastballs and 3 to 5 breaking balls on each of those 4 pitch movement tracking technologies. So we had Trackman running, Rapsodo running, the DK ball, and the Pitch Logic ball. We used the regular 5-ounce baseball, Major League Baseball, as our control group, and then we had Stalker and the Pocket Radar running at all times. After collecting all of the data, we decided to split it up into 3 main categories, as we call the gold standard for these 3 categories: pitch movement, spin efficiency, and velocity. Because the Stalker radar is the industry standard for reading velocity, we use that as our gold standard for reading the velocity in our study. We found that the Trackman and Rapsodo average about 0.3 miles per hour off the Stalker radar, while Pocket Radar averaged about 0.6 miles per hour off. When looking at the DK ball and the Pitch Logic ball, they were about 2 to 5 miles an hour off the average. Because of the wild fluctuations between the Pitch Logic and DK ball, we find it hard to trust the velo readings at times. One of our coaches in the study, Craig Stem, was averaging about 97 miles an hour on every unit, and then the DK ball ended up reading 100 miles an hour at times. Next, let's talk about the movement differences. We decided to use Trackman as our gold standard for pitch movement because it takes into consideration the full ball flight. We found that Rapsodo and Pitch Logic average about 2 to 3 inches off of the Trackman in induced vertical break and horizontal break, while the DK ball had some wild fluctuations. Here's one of the charts comparing movement profiles between Rapsodo, Pitch Logic, Diamond Kinetics, and our gold standard Trackman. Here are the movement plots between our two hardest throwers, Craig Stem and Scott Firth. In our last category, spin efficiency, we use Rapsodo as our gold standard, as it uses a camera-based tracking system to track the ball's orientation out of the hand, whereas Trackman does not. In our spin efficiency chart, you can see that Pitch Logic average around 6% off the Rapsodo, while Trackman and Diamond Kinetics average 10 to 20% difference. Outside of the data we collected, one of the main issues we found with the pitch tracking balls were the size, the shape, and the feel that each coach had when throwing their pitches. The Pitch Logic ball was described as slick, with overly sized laces, and technically it is about 2 grams heavier than the baseball. And the Diamond Kinetics ball was described as tiny with slick leather. So which one should you buy? If your budget is pretty much unlimited, I would suggest going with the Trackman, Stalker, and possibly Rapsodo to get spin efficiency. If your budget is a little limited, first thing you need is a radar. So I would go with the Smart Coach. Outside of that, when you're looking at ball flight technology, Pitch Logic is pretty good when comparing it to Rapsodo. The level you play at should also determine which device you buy. If you're only throwing 75 to 85 miles an hour, I highly suggest just sticking with a radar. Outside of that, once you start to increase your level or increase your velo, that's when you can start to invest in things like Pitch Logic, Rapsodo, or Trackman. Keep in mind, this is one day of data collection and not a massive study, so we are limited to a few hundred pitches. If you want to read a more in-depth analysis of the pitch tracking tech, please click the link below. Any questions, comment on this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.